Okay, to start, I'm going to prep my skin just so that the foundation applies really well and distributes evenly. I'm going to start with some rose water spray. Then I'm going to use a moisturizer. I've already moisturized my skin, but I'm just going to reapply some moisturizer. I feel like when you apply moisturizer just before you apply foundation, it applies a lot better. It just looks a lot more seamless. This is not a first impression video. I have worn this foundation a number of times, but I love it so much that I just felt like I wanted to do a video on it. It's a beautiful formula, and I really love the way it looks, and just felt like it was, you know, nice enough for me to talk about. So here's the bottling. This is the Nars foundation. To start, my foundation shade is Caracas, and that is a medium deep 3.3. So I'm a medium deep shade in Nars, and the way I see it, this is like a warm to neutral or neutral to warm. That's how I feel it looks. So if you feel like you're similar to me, this could be the foundation for you. And so let's just start. I'm gonna do 2 pumps. Always good to start with less and build your way up. So just 2 pumps, and then I'm going to use a stippling brush as my my foundation applicator, and I kind of just spread it around the back of my hand, and then I start applying lightly. If I need any more, I'll just keep on applying, but for now I'm just going to apply a light amount, and then I always start focusing around this area first, because that's where I like having the most coverage around my face, and then I'll work my way out. Now in terms of the foundation, good news is that the ARC store is having a sale currently, and this particular foundation is on sale right now. It usually retails for 1,065 Rand, and now it's on sale for 639 Rands. So if you like this after I'm done, run, don't walk, because they're having a sale. The ARC store is having a sale, and the ARC store is the only place in SA that you can buy the Nars foundation online. The Nars stores are, I have seen a Nars store in Sandton, but I don't think they're online yet, and so the only online retailer that I know of, I might be wrong, but the only online retailer that I know of is the ARC store. And so if you're looking for a foundation, this is a great one to look into. And also it's great that it's on sale, because then you can just test it out before you decide whether you really want to stick to this or not, you know. When I initially bought it, it was really just to test it out, because I'd heard so much about Nars. I think it's one of those iconic brands globally that people have spoken about, and it's only recently come into SA, and so I really wanted to give it a try just to see if I would love it the way people do. And you know, honestly, I really do. I recently did a video on my favorite beauty products of 2024, and this was one of the products on the list. But I did have a few disclaimers on it. One of the disclaimers was that it does what it says it's going to do, right? So it's a Longwear Radiant, also Radiant Longwear foundation, and guys, it gives you radiance. It really does. I mean, if you just look here at the top of my cheekbone, you're already seeing, hold on, the sun's coming out, but if you see just around here already, there's this luminosity that's coming through. It just makes me look glowy and beautiful, and you know, what's the word, skin-like. The foundation really gives you a skin finish. I think one of my favorite parts of this foundation that I really love is that it is long wearing, but it is super lightweight, so it has that feel of a skin tint, but you get the coverage that you really want from a long wear foundation. And so that's my favorite part of this foundation. It really does, like its claims do do hold and they do come through for my skin anyway. In terms of shades, they have 20 shades at the stores, and so I think that's really good. It's a really good selection. Like I said, I'm Caracas, but I don't know, I feel like I could still get a better shade match. I really like this match. I don't have a problem with it, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like Macau, which is quite a popular shade range around the medium deep girls that I've seen online, I feel like Macau could be a good match too, just because at times my warmer undertones come through a lot more than the neutral. It just depends, but I've found that my warmer tone foundations match really well with me, and so I don't know, I'll see, but I'm still really loving this. Okay, before I do the rest of my makeup, I just wanted to show you what 2 pumps give. I don't mind this. I really like this. This is more of a medium coverage. I am going to do one more pump just because I feel like something a little more full coverage today. So I'll do one more pump. And then we warm it up again. I'm going to start this side this time. I'm going to work my way across. Like I said, I like concentrating the makeup here, and then whatever residue I have, I'll then use on the top of my forehead, because I don't feel like I need that much foundation on my forehead and around my chin area. Don't forget your neck. Make sure it goes all the way down. Okay, so this is it after 3 pumps. Look at the glow already. Honestly guys, like, I have not had to do anything. This is just moisturizer and foundation, and I already look super glowy. One of the disclaimers I made in my previous video is that if you are oily skin, I think you're going to have to prep it a lot more in terms of powders, whether you do it under the foundation or over. I do think you're going to have to take a lot more care in terms of making sure you're powdered down in specific areas, because as the foundation settles into your skin, there is a lot more radiance, a lot more luminosity that comes through, and you really start looking very glowy. And over the summer holiday now, when I use this foundation, by the end of the day I would look really glowy. And you know, it wasn't a bad look. I didn't mind it, but that's because I don't have oily skin, and so I didn't mind that look. But I can only imagine if I had oily skin, I don't think I would have liked that look. So I think if you are, if you have oily skin, you're going to probably have to take a little extra care in terms of powdering it down and making sure you don't look too shiny. But otherwise, the radiance is there. I mean, you can see it for yourself. Look at this area here. Makes your skin look so glowy. It's so beautiful. It really is. Like, the finish of this foundation is so beautiful. I've gotten so many compliments about my skin using this foundation, because it really just looks so luminous, so glowy. Makes your skin look healthy. It's such a beautiful formula, and so I love it, and I will continue using this. Okay, let's get ready. Let's just do the rest of my makeup and talk through some of the few things that I have changed, tweaked about my makeup while we apply the makeup, just like a chatty video. I haven't done a get ready with me on YouTube in so long, and so why not? So one of the things I do a little differently now is my layering steps. I actually start after my foundation application. I actually start with my contouring, because I've seen a few girls do it and I really like the way it looks. It is quite tricky, because once you put on the blush after the contour, it can look a little muddy, but it just takes a little finessing. But I really like it. So we start off, and then my application is a little higher now. My application is like right at the tip here, and so this is where we're going to start now. Let me get my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. So that's where it is. Can you see that already? It's hitting where the shadow is, right? Like my natural shadow is around here, and so when I put that contour here, it already emphasizes that natural shadow. And we'll do it here too. And then right at the temples. And then I just stop blending. The aim is to blend up. You don't want to blend down, because then it really starts to look, that's where the muddiness with the blush comes in. And so you just got to be a little more careful. Make sure you are blending up, and right where the cheekbone kind of goes in is where you want to focus, because that's where the shadow starts hitting. Do the same thing this side. Really focus in just below the cheekbones. See how that looks? You can already see. And then I really like taking my time with blending. I find it makes it a lot easier when I want to blend everything else out right at the end. I used to be so light-handed with my concealer, and man, I don't know, like I go back and forth with my concealer application. Sometimes I like that really full glam, lots of concealer, and sometimes I just like a little less. It just depends on the day. But these days I've been feeling like a lot more coverage, a lot more full soft glam. I really like that look, and so that's what I've been doing lately, and what we're going to do today. What I do as well is I don't go all the way to the lash line. I used to do that. Last year I was doing that quite a bit, and yeah, I don't know, I've gone back to not doing it right up to the lash line, and then I'll kind of use whatever I use on my lid, I'll use right below there to kind of fill that out and like create use that at the bottom as well. Now the thing about concealer is it does the reverse of what a contour does. So with a contour you are looking at focusing in on the shadows where your shadows kind of naturally hit, and then with your contour you focus on areas where you want a lot more brightening and where the sun would highlight your face essentially. So we focus in here just a little bit, the bridge of the nose just a little bit, down here. I've already done my eyes, and then right at the corners of my nose. And now we just blend everything out. So I usually let it dry for a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to just blend it out. When I started really applying makeup and being serious about it and wearing it almost every day, I literally would have like 2 dots of concealer and that would be it. And you know, I liked that look back then, but by the end of the day my makeup would be off, you know. I'd look at my makeup and just feel like, why does it look like I didn't even put anything on? I've come to realize that you need to apply a little more than you are used to if you want it to stay the whole day, and if you want your particular look to last. And so I've learned along the way that you know, to sometimes have that natural looking beat, you actually have to apply quite a bit of makeup. funny enough. Another thing that I have learned recently and have seen how super effective it is to start with your liquids and your cream bases and kind of work your way to powder. And so I'm going to apply my liquid blush. If I was using a powder blush, then it would have been one of the last things I used, but because it's liquid, I'm using that. 2 dots of this Huda Beauty blush. It is super pigmented, so I have to be very careful with it. So you see where the placement of the blush is and where the contour is. I really just try and make sure that I avoid mixing them too much. I mean, they're obviously going to blend together eventually, but initially I just want the blush to kind of sit there and have its own moment. You know, I'm going to do the other side. 1, 2, again. In terms of placement of blush, I now go a little higher so I don't focus too much on the apple of my cheeks, like this area here, because then it would tend to look like it was so down here. I don't know, it will kind of bring the face down. And I'm trying to lift the face. Look at that glow from the foundation, guys. It is so stunning. It really gives like glass skin in a way, no? So alright, so that's the blush, and now I'm going to start doing the powders. Going with my translucent powder and powder all the areas where I'm looking to highlight, so around here. I don't usually bake. I know some people like leaving their powders to kind of just sit and really set into their concealer. I don't usually do that. I just apply my powder and lightly brush it off after a couple of seconds. It's just how I prefer to do it. And for my nose, I use this triangular sponge and I kind of just go right at the top here. For the rest of my face, I'm just going to use a powder that is my skin tone. And just work that around. I'm going to go in my contour and use that on my eyeshadow. Use that on my eyelid. And then to finish it off, I'm using mascara. I also like going in at the bottom of my lashes. Alright, this is my makeup look, and this is how the foundation looks. So the foundation looks super glowy still. If you look at this area here, it still looks really luminous and quite glowy. But in the areas that matter, you know, my T-zone area, I don't look as shiny, and so I'm still gonna get the radiant Longwear effect that the foundation gives, but not look overly glowy. So I really, if you're looking for a great foundation that has a good amount of coverage, that makes your skin look glass-like, glowy, luminous, radiant, then this is a foundation that I would absolutely recommend. There are 20 shades available in South Africa that I've seen on the ARC store and on the Nars website. I don't know how many shades they have in its entirety. I don't know if that's the full range, the 20. I will do a little more research on that, but I do think 20 is a great amount of shades to look into and to find something that is as close to your skin shade as possible. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the review on the Nars Radiant Longwear foundation. Alright, till next time, bye.